Welcome guys, thank you so much for joining in. So if you want to find out what is happening right now with price action of Solana, price action of Cardano and also from Polkadot, then this is the right video, because in this video I am going to show you all the possibility that could be playing out here in the immediate short term and also in the upcoming days. So this video definitely is going to be one very interesting video, so please watch it till the end. So now we are going to start this analysis by looking at the price action of Solana here in a daily time frame, and I'm also going to use this logarithmic scale. Why? Because if you look at this price structure here in a daily time frame, just like what I talked about on my yesterday's video regarding Solana price action, we are aware this rising trend line for us is one very important line of resistance, because with each and every price movement or price approach the rising trend line, we always got a rejection. And right now if you look at this price structure guys, we are saying the price in the immediate short term, if we do see any sort of a pullback, doesn't matter, the trend here could still continue this rally at least towards this rising trend line before choosing an actual trend duration. Because if we flip this resistance around this 380 to 400 price range into support, then you know we have broken this important resistance line and price could go very parabolic after that. But before that guys, I want to show you a very interesting scenario and also a similarity that unfolded here in September 2020, right, May 2021, and also could be playing out here right now. Why? Because if you look at this price structure, you can see whenever we approach the resistance line, we always saw this price retracement, right? You can see we reached the top of this line, we got a retracement, and the second attempt was always there. I mean, the price here went higher than the previous one, retested this resistance line, got rejection. Only then we saw this price pullback, forming this double top type of scenario. Again, a new trend started here, and if you look at this price structure, another similar scenario also unfolded here. I mean, price reached the top of the channel, we got a retracement, and again the second attempt also got rejected around this rising trend line. Only after that we saw this price pullback. And now if we look in our case, you can see pretty similar scenario. I mean, the price has already got a rejection once, right? What could be missing is this second attempt. So that's why I was saying you the price here in the immediate short term, even if we are going to see some more shakeout, right, there is a very high possibility of this trend going to continue at least towards this rising trend line that is lying around 340 350 before choosing an actual trend direction. So that's why guys, that's why this here is one very interesting scenario that is unfolding right now with price action of Solana. And if you want to look at this price structure in a bit different way without using this log scale guys, then there is another interesting scenario that could be unfolding right now. So guys, now what we are going to do is we are going to add this another rising trend line around this price range, because we can see this rising trend line, right, in a daily time frame acted as a line of resistance, just like with the previous example. But when we broke out of this resistance line, right, you can see the price saw this really nice move here to the upside, but we came back to retest this previous temporary resistance line, which turned into support. So that's why we started this new move here to the upper direction. So now in a daily time frame, right, if we do see any sort of a shakeout, just follow this rising trend line, because this rising trend line is going to be a strong line of support in case we see any sort of a price retracement here in the immediate short term for Solana. And now if you look at this price structure, there is another interesting scenario unfolding here in a 4-hour time frame. In a 4-hour time frame, the price structure what we are witnessing here could be forming a very nice broadening top, as you can see here. And if you want to look at this example regarding broadening top, you can see it. This is how it actually looks like in an uptrend like this. Whenever we approach the upper line area, a small pullback type of scenario, and by second attempt we usually break and continue this rally here to the upward direction. And right now if you look at this, we can see another pretty similar scenario also unfolding in a 4-hour time frame. So if we are going to see this pullback here, just like as shown here in example, then we are aware the price here, right, after that could be ready for this next move as shown here in the example, because this is a broadening top. So this line, which is lying around 250 255 price range, must be flipped into support. If we do that, right, and price also find proper support above it, then there is a very high probability of price continue here to the upper direction. So this is what I see right now looking at the price action of Solana. Now let's have a look at price action of Cardano. So guys, now what we are going to do, we are going to look at this price action of Cardano in a weekly time frame, because with each and every impulsive movement, corrective movement, another impulsive movement, another corrective movement, there is one similarities. I mean, if you look at this price structure in a very simple way, from this swing low till this swing high, you can see where did the market actually found a proper support exactly after reaching around this 0.618 Fibonacci retracement line, as you can see. Then we started building support around that price range, and once the price was able to again break this resistance and flip it into support, we started this new rally here to the upward direction, just like before we started here, right? And now again guys, again, if we look at this in a simple way, let's take this Fibonacci retracement from this swing low till this swing high. Price could be approaching around this 0.618 Fibonacci line, just like here from the past price action. So if we look at this 0.618, right, this price range around $1.80, $1.90 could be a strong line of support for Cardano. So if we do see any sort of a range bound type of scenario, we are absolutely fine. So what we want here in a weekly is to flip this resistance from this 0.5 and 0.382 into support, because if we can break out of this $2.10, $2.20 resistance into support, right, then we will be approaching another Fibonacci line, and also turning this resistance into support will indicate another bullish scenario for Cardano. But for now, I am actually expecting more of a range bound type of scenario, just like here from past Cardano price action. So more of a range bound type of scenario between this price range of $2.10 to $1.80 price area. So now what can we see if we look at this price action also in a daily time frame? So guys, now if we look at this Cardano price action in a daily time frame, you can see a pretty similar scenario was unfolding. I mean, in a daily, it's very clear to see that the price was actually finding a strong support around this 0.618 Fibonacci retracement areas, right? You can see here, even though if you look at this price structure carefully, you can see this was a very nice looking head and shoulder pattern, but the price still managed to break here to the upper direction. But before breaking it to the upside, if you look at this price structure, you can see we actually showed a scenario which is known as double bottom, and we are aware double bottom is a bullish scenario, because exactly when the price came across this neckline area, you can see here guys, around this price range we were finding resistance, but as soon as we broke out of this neckline, we started this new rally here to the upward direction. So for us right now, just like here, we could be also holding our ground around this price range of $1.80 to $1.90 area. So if we do manage to remain somehow around this price range, then I'm also expecting a pretty similar scenario to unfollow, just like here, price finding a proper support around this price range, right, and then continue this rally here to the upper direction. So guys, now this is what I see right now looking at price action of Cardano in a weekly time frame and also in a daily time frame. Now let's have a look at Polkadot price action. So for Polkadot, I'm going to start this in a weekly time frame, just like with Cardano. Why? Because if you look at this price movement here, this is actually showing a scenario which we have talked plenty of time in our videos, because according to this Livermore's pivotal point theory, as you can already see guys, breaking the previous temporary resistance line is going to give us a buying opportunity. And if you look at this price structure carefully, you can see this was a previous high. Before breaking out of it, we were also finding rejection. So if we do see any sort of a price retracement, you can see around this price range of $40 to $45, this is going to be a strong line of support for Polkadot. Why? Because the same line was an extremely important line of resistance. So if we do see any sort of a price retracement, that exact price area around this $40 to $45 is going to be a strong line of support in case if we do see any sort of a price retracement. But in a general, breaking the previous temporary resistance line usually indicates a buying opportunity, as shown here in an example from Jesse Livermore. So in a weekly, as you can see, the price of Polkadot looks very interesting and also could be in favor of bulls. And now let me also show you in a daily time frame what kind of scenario could be unfolding here. So right now what I'm going to do here is add another interesting scenario because we are aware, if you look at this price action in a daily time frame, we could be following this ascending channel, because this ascending channel, the upper line, as you can see, it was a strong line of resistance, and the lower line was a strong line of support. With each and every price movement, you can see whenever we approach the lower line area, after that we got a really nice bounce in price action. So right now we have already reached the top, and if we are going to see any sort of a retracement, the lower line area of this ascending channel could be a strong line of support for Polkadot. And not just only this, guys, if you also monitor this price movement from this swing low till this swing high, you can see this retracement came only around 0.382, found support, and started moving here to the upper direction, right? And now if we do the similar scenario also here, from this swing low till this swing high, you can see we could be again finding a strong support around this 0.382, and price could still see this movement here in this manner, because we are still forming this higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern for Polkadot in a daily time frame. And also, if you look at this price action in a bit different way, let me show you this one interesting scenario. So now if we look at this price action in a 4-hour time frame, guys, before breaking to the upside, the price here formed a very nice descending triangle. Descending triangle usually is looked as a bearish scenario, but this trend here was continuing to the upside. You can see this line, the upper line area of this descending triangle, was a strong line of resistance, but once we broke out of it, we started this new rally here to the upper direction. And again, if we look at this price structure also in a pretty similar way, you can see we actually broke out of this upper line area of this descending triangle, right? Just like here, because this line was also a strong line of resistance, and once we were able to break out of it, we started this new move here to the upside. And right now, even though we are seeing this price pullback, you can see this breakout also saw a lot of price pullback shakeout on our way, but still continue this rally here to the upper direction. So that's why I am also expecting a pretty similar type of scenario here in price action of Polkadot. So these are some of the scenarios I thought sharing it in today's episode. If you enjoyed my work, then come on guys, hit that like button, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. Now by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye guys.